Okay, today we're going to talk about the Spectrum Business NearNet Phase 2 program, which we are pretty excited about. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of skip around between some slides and also show you how to do some qualifications in CarrierFinder. So let's start off and just kind of talk about what the program is. So basically the idea is that sites that fall within a certain radius of fiber splice points are eligible for fiber-based services. So the number of buildings has been increased from previous 48,000 up to a current count of 95,000 buildings, which equates to approximately twice the number of prospects if you figured 2-to-1 ratio on customers per building as an average. The maximum distance has been increased from 1,000 feet to 1,250 feet, and it has been expanded to all states where Spectrum is the cable provider. And as most of you know, Spectrum Business has been rebranded from the previous Comcast Charter Business. So this is Charter, the Cable Co. Okay, so let's see, next. Let's go to, I like this slide right here because it shows the minimum, the monthly recurring revenue that is required is shown over here, and it's based upon the state where the service is located and the distance from the nearest fiber splice point. So you can see tier 1 states such as Georgia, Illinois, Wyoming have a $1,000 minimum recurring revenue, monthly recurring revenue, and the say tier 3 states such as Washington, Connecticut, Virginia, New York, etc. is $800 for if the site is 0 to 500 feet from the nearest splice point. If the site is 501 to 1,250 feet, the minimum recurring revenue is $900. One thing to remember is that all contract terms must be a minimum of 36 months, and it can go up to 60 months in term. Okay, so now let's talk about how to do a qualification. And we're going to flip over to CarrierFinder. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, I need to find an address to use, and another new tool that we have in development is in the toolbox, Building Finder. And I'm actually going to look for, well, matter of fact, I'll do this. Filter the cable codes. I'm going to look for Spectrum. I'm going to do a search. And this is handy because you can actually see the footprint where these services are available. And there we go. There's our footprint where these NearNet buildings are located. And I can put my cursor over it, and I can get building addresses. Now, one thing is to know, okay, what I'm going to do is here is I'm going to take a look more granular. I'm going to look at a particular state. I'm going to go into Washington State. zoom in on, let's go to Walla Walla, Washington. How's that? Let's get an address. Here we go. Here's one. Let's go with this one. 1701 Plaza Way. I'm going to go back to our main screen. Normally you'd already have this address because that's what you'd be searching on. Now you can see that it pops up on the drop down just because of the fact that anything that's in the database will pop up there. And I think we're up to around 700,000 buildings in our tool now. We see that Spectrum is the cable co, and that's good. Main thing we want to do here though is go into lit building results. And there we go. We see Spectrum Business is there. It's 0 feet. It shows, the key thing here too also to know is it shows Spectrum NearNet. Okay, I'm going to pop over to list view because list view gives us more information. You can see it pulls all the addresses nearby as well that qualify for services. And we see the spectrum is Spectrum NearNet. We show that it's in the 501 to 1250 range, which means it has a minimum monthly recurring revenue of $900. Okay. And if you click on this view service info, it basically pulls you back to this training. So you can see it's very easy to identify. What does pricing look like? Well, pricing, you could start with budgetary pricing. Let me pull that up. Budgetary pricing is, we have two basic products. We have Ethernet private line, we have Ethernet, which is basically, think of point-to-point. We can also do mesh networks, and this would all be layer 2. And you can see budgetary pricing. We start off here with a per node price as shown. And so as an example, 100 meg node on a 36-month term is $975. If you wanted to have 2 of them, you would double the price, as in a point-to-point circuit. You would see that probably a gig point-to-point is $12.80 per node. Point-to-point, you would double it. You had a mesh network, triple it. With, as an example, with 3 sites. Keep in mind this is budgetary pricing. Internet is basically another grid. This is also per node, which normally you'd only have 1 node. So 100 meg would be 2,000 on a 60-month, 1,600. Pricing, not great, certainly not great, but keep in mind that additional discounts are available based upon competition and requirements and this and that and the next thing. So you can have that pricing negotiated through your master agent, or you can also or work with whoever can do that. So obviously we can do that for you as well. Okay, that's the budgetary pricing. We've gone through the product on how to do the qualifications, and that is about all you need to know to get going on Spectrum Business NearNet Fiber. By the way, I should point out that if you have both sites are NearNet, then your minimum monthly recurring is going to be whatever it is on either end. if one end is going to say something like a data center, then that will definitely help your case, because that other data center side already would have fiber typically, and that means that you're going to get much better pricing than if both sides were NearNet and required fiber builds. Also remember that it's important to know that while you may not get the best price initially on that initial 36-month term, once you have fiber built, when that term comes up, or later when you want to do upgrades, you're going to have a lot of good leverage because you'll be on net with a very competitive company. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the training. Have a great day.